Alien Romulus is the ninth film in the franchise, if you include Alien vs. Predator and Requiem. This has been a long-running franchise, and the last two films were directed by Ridley Scott. So this one, he's back to producer. This one's directed by Fede Alvarez, so I was excited to see this. This is a movie about Rain. She is a young woman with an adoptive android brother named Andy. The two of them work for the Weyland-Yutani Corporation as miners. However, her contract is up and they won't let her leave, so she finds herself in an exploitative contract that she can't escape from because you need cryosleep to leave the star system. However, an old contact friend of hers, Tyler, offers her a heist. They're going to fly up to a decommissioned Weyland-Yutani ship, find the cryopods that are up there and steal them and use them to escape the planet. It's a very brutal, gross, no sunlight place where people die from diseases and toxic fumes and accidents. So of course, the first half of this movie is rather slow. It's character development, it's world building. The movie's budget's only $80 million, and they use every single penny in order to make a realized world with grungy, mining equipment and practical effects when they can. And there's some, visual effects shots from Weta for the ships and everything, so that's great. However, the second half of the movie is a thrill ride, a thriller-minute ride when they introduce the xenomorphs. Now, there is some few things I didn't like about this movie. There's 3 callbacks to previous films. 2 of them are just straight up dialogue ripoffs from the first and second film. I don't like it when movies do that. It's the equivalent of like saying the tagline in the trailer or the movie title in the movie. It's just really weird and jarring. Didn't like that. And then there's also another surprise that I'm not going to say. Didn't need to go that direction because everything's practical, looks great, but that visual effect just didn't work for me, and it's a large chunk of the movie. However, I did like everything else. The action, the characters. I really liked a star-making turn for David Johnson, who plays Andy. He gets an upgrade later in the film and becomes a bit of a corporate stooge and sort of a semi-antagonist. So he's always switching sides depending on what his microchip thing allows him to do. And of course, you also have the always dependable Kaylee Spaney, who's great as Rain. She's a strong emotional anchor and core. You really follow her. She's obviously the final girl. Everyone else is kind of expendable, but they're there. Really gruesome visual effects, really good set pieces, and really surprising action. Lots of stuff going on the ship. Lots of like things going wrong. Like there's a gravity thing that like happens once in a while that they have to face, and there's always little twists and little things to get around. A lot of obstacles I really like. There's also a ticking clock. But overall, we watched this movie in AVX, which is great sound, but there's this really weird, obnoxious guy sitting behind us. He kept saying DEI in the film, which stands for diversity, ethnicity, and inclusion. I think he just didn't like the fact that there was a Latina in the movie and an Asian woman, which is really weird because, the first Alien movie had, Parker, and, it's a mining colony planet, so there'd be a lot of different people going there for work. It was just a really obnoxious guy. I kept laughing during like some of the more intense scenes. Like imagine you're watching Alien for the first time and the chest burster scene happens and he just starts laughing at John Hurt writhing on the table. Sometimes a crowded, movie theater is fun. But this is one of those movies where you don't want interruptions. The sound design is really crazy. It goes quiet for some of the space sequences, and really adds to it. Really great sound design, creature design. This movie's firing off on all cylinders. The only weakness is that keeps trying to throw in throwbacks to previous films. You don't need to do that. Have some confidence in your film. It's really jarring for when these new characters are saying the exact same dialogue as previous films. But overall, really enjoyable sci-fi horror, and I give Alien Romulus a 7 out of 10.